Don't you ever besmirch Billy Joe.
The Boys is a wildly irreverent satire of the superhero genre that's startlingly good at depicting what superheroes would actually be like if they existed in our world.
I can't stop.
And while this isn't a new idea, it's definitely the most accurate take on it that I've ever seen.
Robin?
The Seven, a clear nod to the Justice League, are corporate influencers who abuse their powers for personal gain. They have merch and they are commercialised and politicised by Vought to sway public opinion. The show is so grounded in realism that it's hard not to draw parallels between the boys' world and that of our own. It addresses pertinent social issues of today, from workplace sexual assault to, more recently in Season 2, xenophobia and white supremacy. To me, it's a perfect metaphor for the exact moment we're living in ourselves. It mocks the ridiculousness of celebrity and in part the idealisation that comes with it. It displays how ego, greed and ruthless capitalism turns everyone into a villain or victim. And it goes on to wrestle with the more complex ideas where celebrity and politics intersect. By executing what showrunner Eric Kripke has called the most rigorous application of reality, the show is able to raise a mirror to our screens and turn the lens of examination inwards. It challenges the viewer to consider the danger of holding anyone up as a hero, let alone a group of vainglorious narcissists.
Can I get a selfie?
What Kripke does so perfectly, though, is pull apart the fabric of each character, both good and bad, to show that corruption begins at the top of the ladder. Homelander is, in my opinion, one of the best villains we've seen in a long time because of this. He's a twisted amalgamation of Captain America and Superman, but pure sociopathic evil. And as the story develops, we learn why. He was essentially Vaught's lab rat, shining a light on why he's so powerful, but also why he's so fundamentally broken. His parents are a billion-dollar corporation. He was never taught compassion or love, nor did he ever experience genuine human connection. Homelander is a victim of Vaught's merciless venture to maintain power, and as a result, he has become an egomaniac with a very fragile obsession with self-image and authority. He puts on an all-American persona for the sake of public adoration, and keeps his violent outbursts behind closed doors. The Boys has approached the exhausted superhero genre from a new angle. Civil War may have briefly addressed the consequences of coexisting with superheroes, but The Boys tackled it face on. It gives a voice and a face to the innocent bystanders who have lost loved ones to collateral damage. It touches on the Me Too movement with Starlight's sexual assault, and alludes to doping in sport with A-Train's abuse of Compound V. Almost every thematic exploration in the show is pertinent to today, and that's its selling point. In Season 2, Stormfront is used as a springboard to explore white supremacy and political extremism. She represents hatred and intolerance as we see it today. She's politically savvy and casually racist, rallying the public with an anti-immigrant message cloaked in soup terrorist warnings, when in reality it's a way to promote superiority and vilify the other. It's clear that Season 2's story is intended to weave a metaphor for the deeply dysfunctional and polarised American political system. Stormfront exploits American nationalism and xenophobic panic to manipulate and rile up the public, which directly echoes the Trumpian rhetoric we saw at the start of this year. As the season progresses, the boys discover that Stormfront has ties to Nazi Germany. She was once called Liberty and has committed at least one racially motivated murder, where she wrongfully accused Myron Hunter of being involved in a robbery in a fit of racial profiling.
Killing a black piece of shit like you.
Liberty disappeared in 1979, only to reappear now rebranded as Stormfront, a populist, edgy soup from Portland. The point here is that today hate and racism aren't always right there in your face, they're bubbling under the surface, often wrapped in attractive online packages to influence a new generation. At first, Stormfront is fairly likeable, she's trendy and anti-establishment. Her social media presence draws a loyal base of Storm Chaser fans who clamour for her hot takes and memes.
When you see it on your uncle's Facebook page, then you know it's working.
Stormfront is therefore able to continue to peddle her white nationalism and xenophobia, but in a modern way through social media and television, which I think makes it all the more insidious. I believe that all good genre can be used to provoke a healthy conversation on hard to discuss topics. In this instance, the superhero genre is used as a hyperbole for autocratic rule and the misuse of power. The show's conflict isn't an alien coming down to destroy Earth, it's body dysmorphia, it's misrepresentation in the media, the sexualization of women, toxic masculinity and PTSD. It's about social media and the dangerous merging of celebrity and politics, and how people are now packaging their political messages in slick sound bites to get the American public to act against their own best interests. Having a billion-dollar conglomerate that wants to militarize and profit off superheroes, make sure they make the right licensing deals and stay on brand feels inherently real. The Seven are a stark contrast to the altruistic heroes who have been hitting our screens for the last 2 decades, and rightly so. At their core, they're human, deeply flawed, insecure and self-serving. While I don't think the show set out with the sole purpose to critique, it does invite a healthy questioning of authority and challenge the audience to consider the more complex ideas of our own climate.